असं नाही अपेक्षित बँकेचे वगैरे म्हणणार
मेरे कहाँ से भेजेंगे तो सुनो अब सुन लो
हे आपलं दुर्दैव आहे. आणि प्रांतपाल त्या नेतृत्व आहे आणि इतर रोटरी क्लब आहेत यांनी या शांतते परिस्थितीकडे पूर्णपणे दुर्लक्ष केलेलं आहे. आपण गृहीत धरा, आज 16 परदेशी माझ्याकडे पाहुणे आलेले आहेत. शांतता परिषदेचे अध्यक्षा श्रीमती पिंटन आलेले आहेत. आणि मग काय तुमचं नेतृत्व जे आहे जिल्ह्याचं ती टिमकी वाजवण्याकरता, असेंब्लीची टिमकी वाजवण्याकरता माझ्याकडे इतके रजिस्ट्रेशन झाले हे करता पाहिजे का? मग तुम्हाला रोटरी समजलीच नाही असं म्हणावं लागेल. तुम्ही जरी जिल्ह्याचे नेतृत्व घेतलं असेल, प्रांतपाल जरी झाला असाल, तर तुम्हाला रोटरी कळालेली नाहीये असं गृहीत धरावं लागेल. हे दुर्दैव आहे. कॉन्फरन्स होईल, पार पडेल, उत्तम होईल. आम्ही काय म्हणा, आपण रोटरीत एक पद्धत आहे, कुठलेही कॉन्फरन्स होऊ द्या, फोरम होऊ द्या वगैरे काही होऊ द्या, त्याला आपण प्रत्येक वा वा छान झालं, फार छान झालं, छान काय झालं, वा उत्तम जेवण होतं. अरे कॉन्फरन्सचा अर्थ काय? आपण त्यासाठी आलो, त्यातून काय आपण घेतलंय का? आपल्याला काही मिळालंय का? आणि आपण काही देणार आहात? याला जर महत्व नसेल तर माझ्या दृष्टीनं त्या नेतृत्वालाही काही महत्व नाही. मी आता 45 डिस्ट्रिक्ट गव्हर्नर्स पाहिलेले आहेत. 40 जणांबरोबर मी काम केलेलं आहे. त्यामुळे मी हे अधिकाराने बोलू शकतो. याचा रागही येईल तुम्हाला, परंतु हे दुर्दैव आहे. आणि मी हे मुद्दाम याच्याकरता बोलतोय कारण की आपल्या इथेच आहे जे आहे म्हणजे याच्यामध्ये आपल्या डिस्ट्रिक्ट भावी नेतृत्व पण आहे. कमीत कमी तुमच्या कारकिर्दीमध्ये थोडं तरी इकडे लक्ष देणं जरुरी आहे. शांततेशिवाय पुढे पर्याय नाही हे गृहीत धरा. शांतता असेल तरच आपण इथं पुढे व्यवस्थित पुढच्या पिढीला आपण सगळं आपलं भावी नेतृत्व हे आहे आपण जे आपण त्यांना स्वाधीन करू शकू. शांतता नसेल तर काहीही होणार नाही. आणि आज वरचेवर प्रत्येक दिवशी शांततेची ऐवजी अशांतताच होत आहे. इकडे लक्ष द्या. थँक्यू.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we begin session 2 of the International Peace, Goodwill and Conflict Resolution Conference, it is my privilege to warmly welcome our distinguished speakers on the dais. I request Lieutenant Milind Deshpande to escort Lieutenant Namrata Sharma from Nepal. Thank you. I request Lieutenant Milind to escort Lieutenant Deepashi Das Sarkar from Assam. Thank you. I also request Rotarian Milling to escort Rotarian Rajendra Deshpande on the dais. If you want peace, you don't talk to your friends, you talk to your enemies. As the afternoon sun shines among us, we now explore the deeper causes of unrest and the powerful idea of positive peace. Peace built not just on agreements, but on understanding. We are also honored to welcome Dr. Samuel D. Hancock from District Governor-elect Dr. Shahina Asif from Pakistan and Mrs. Noshaba Shehzad from Pakistan, who are joining us live on screen, reinforcing the true spirit of global peace and unity. A very warm welcome to all of our esteemed guests.
Thank you, Mona Homkar. Of course, peace is not merely a distant goal that we see, but it means by which we arrive at that goal. May I request President Rotarian Vandana Vakchore to welcome the honorable speakers while giving the floral bouquet. Thank you, dear speakers, for your insightful perspectives. The seeds of peace you have sown today will surely grow in every Rotarian's heart. Let's begin with Rotarian Dr. Namrata Sharma speaking on reasons for global unrest and the path towards peace. Peace is not absence of conflict. It is the ability to handle conflict by peaceful means. Before Rotarian Dr. Namrata Sharma comes to you and address, may I request Rotarian Mona Bhumkar to introduce Rotarian Dr. Namrata Sharma.
Thank you, Rotarian Hassan. It is my privilege to introduce a remarkable Rotarian and an champion of human rights, Rotarian Namrata Sharma from Nepal. Rotarian Namrata is an acclaimed journalist, researcher, and women's empowerment advocate with over 3 decades of international experience. Her work spans Nepal, India, Kenya, Afghanistan, and United Kingdom, where she has consistently championed gender equality, child rights, peace, and social justice, both through her powerful writing and her dedicated fieldwork. A respected voice in South Asian journalism, she has worked tirelessly to combat violence against women, child marriage, and other pressing social challenges. Her commitment to truth and justice led her to become the first female chair of the Center of Investigating Journalism, CIJ, and the founder of the Center for Microfinance in Nepal. Her groundbreaking investigative reporting on human trafficking earned her the prestigious Amnesty International Award in 2021. Her expertise extends across microfinance, governance, life skills, and sustainable development, leading transformative projects across several nations. Today, she continues to influence policy and thought as a member of the Nepal National Commission for UNESCO, editor of Nariswar magazine, and an international consultant on gender equality and life skills. Rotary Namrata Sharma stands a true symbol of courage, compassion, and conviction, someone who proves every day that the pain can indeed create peace. Friends, please join me in warmly welcoming the inspiring Rotarian Namrata Sharma from Nepal.
Thank you, Mona. That was very kind of you. Such words, but it put in front of you the sphere of work that I have done. And actually, it's a pleasure to be here today to talk about peace when the world all over is rising in unrest, and in Nepali we call it Ashanti. So thank you, Chandrakantji, first of all, for connecting with me a couple of years back, and since then keeping on touch. Rotary Club of Aurangabad Metro, Vandanaji, and the whole team deserves a heartfelt gratitude for myself for bringing me here today. And District 3231, right? 3132, sorry. I think, the topic that was sent to me today, basically to look into the reasons of unrest and find a path towards peace. And I was since morning listening to everybody and also reflecting on the work that I've been doing. This actually, directly or indirectly, it does focus on this particular aspect. So I look forward to sharing with you my thoughts today, and of course to hearing back from you on what your thoughts are on this. Is there something to just click? Yeah. Okay, please move on. Yeah. So actually in the morning, we already listened to the speakers. Basically, we are talking about global unrest, and that focuses on widespread political, social, economic, and armed conflicts. But while we are talking about the global scenario of conflict and unrest, we also need to look within ourselves, because every day, from the moment we get up in the morning and go to bed, this mind of ours goes through a whirlpool of thoughts. And what are the thoughts that come in and go out that might bring peace within and in the surrounding context is something that we need to reflect on. Because until and unless that is reflected, peace cannot percolate, you see. And this global unrest is also because of the thoughts and the whirlpool that is generated, particularly in the global leaders' mindsets in the area of politics, social construct, economic, and of course, the wish to be the most powerful, you see? So the thoughts within the leaders in this sector percolate out in making decisions, and that leads towards your own individual within yourself, your household, society, nation, and then of course, the global scenario. So how can we actually affect peace, security, development, and ensure human dignity? Increasing the interconnection, networks like we are doing just now, is one step towards it. And in the same whole process now, in the digital scenario, life has become very difficult in some ways, but easier on other ways. Chandrakanji and myself were talking yesterday. The digital scenario of today actually connected us. So how do we connect to percolate peace rather than unrest? Is within ourselves and of course the whole world scenario. I just wanted to share here before going forward is, like when I travel all around the world doing stories, Mona just mentioned about a couple of my stories which was on human trafficking, and you won't believe it. These are human trafficking stories in two of the richest and happiest countries on earth, Luxembourg and Finland. Story got published, and things are changing for them, and traffic are getting justice with the support of the government of both these countries. And unrest has different meanings in the lives of different people, different countries, and the world in general. But the whole basic line is, we are all. And at the end of the day, at the end of the time when we rest and go back to wherever we came from, to our valued, like spiritual place, abode, we want to be happy, right? And happiness comes with peace. But unfortunately, there are different ways of creating unrest. And as I said before I move on, it starts within here and then it percolates everywhere. Please move on. Now, I won't go in detail on these things because I have earlier speakers have also spoken, but I also want to stress on the fact is that, the world, since the time I was growing up, and probably most of you growing up, we always want our countries to be independent, a democratic value system, and every citizen of that country have access to the basic needs and also move on to make lives for themselves and others more happier and prosperous and safe, right? That's what we want, isn't it? Isn't it? Yeah. And I've had the opportunity of working in countries like India, Kenya, and Afghanistan and UK also. And in India, I was in the wonderful company of Ila Ben. She's lovingly known as Ila Ben, but she's Ila Bhatt from Ahmedabad. She was the chair of the organization who hired me to be the director over there. And, all over India, if you go to every state of India, you'll find social leaders who are changing the face of the country and their nation. And you get that inspiration. I meet people, I get very humble. But then if you also go to countries like Kenya or anywhere on earth, you find people with that value system which actually motivates them to work for those who do not have. You see? But on the other hand, if you look at the kind of unrest that's happening in this country today, my latest, I have two columns in Nepal, one in English and one in Nepali. The last article was on the Venezuelan conflict. Why do these things happen? It happens basically with, as I said, the thought that's created here among world leaders who are actually supposed to lead people towards prosperity and peace, but because of their own value system of being the most powerful, it leads towards going towards unrest. Move on, please. Unfortunately, I remember like when independence was happening in Nepal, India, Nepal was never colonized. But Nepal was also going through its own process of getting independence from dictatorial, autocratic regimes, right? So every time any protest for prosperity in any country happens, it's actually to decrease the gap between the rich and the poor. Unfortunately, that is decreasing more and more, increasing, sorry, more and more. Unemployment among the youth is increasing a lot. You see, cost of living is increasing. Economic dependency of the developing countries increasing. But countries who are labeled as developing, like yesterday, where some of us who were visiting Aurangabad, went to visit Ajanta and the day before Ellora. And the fact that these caves have been here since thousands of years before other civilization and other similar kind of structures in other world proves that our, civilization, our development has been there for ages beyond the others, especially the Western countries. But still, we are seen as the developing countries, and our dependency is trying to be controlled and made more dependent towards others. You see? So that quest to move away from the dependency and to establish our own leads on a kind of a dispute within ourselves, but the creators of such disputes lead towards disharmony all over the world. And I think simple people should understand this and move. Like in the morning, Madam was talking about, like peaceful living, the Raj and heritage since ages, how to make of our body and the whole internal mental and spiritual values calm. So it keeps us calm and we start working in such a way that calmness percolates all over the world. So let's move on. Unfortunately, if the gap between the rich and the poor and the people who are still being marginalized from a lot of opportunities that everybody gets will increase unrest rather than peace. That's something that we need to know. And like different kind of biases. I talked a little bit ago about the traffic people. People need to leave their own countries and go more and more to work in other places. And that increases them being in the risk of different violences, both physical, mental, sexual, and also deprivation of different things that is their right, but they do not know how to get it, you see. And this whole social cohesion and trust factor erodes. And speakers before me have already stressed on the fact that trust is one of the basic pillars of peace. So how do we generate it? We see the so-called world leaders trumping all over the place and trying to create dependency, control factor, even on countries who are coming up very strongly economically, you see. Different factors are being imposed so that they bend down to certain whims and this thing. At this point, what needs to be understood by everybody is not retaliate in a negative way, but in a positive way, generate thought of love, peace within ourselves, and move ahead as strong nations, especially in our part of the world, our part of the region. Move on, please. Yeah. You all must have heard recently, actually it started, I think, from Indonesia, and then Nepal picked up. The youth of Nepal was so frustrated. There was a Gen Z mobilization which actually toppled one of the most corrupt governments in the country overnight. It was because the people were the youth were disturbed. They didn't want to go out to work. They didn't want to go out to study. They just wanted to stay in the country. But that basic education, good quality education and job opportunity was not provided to them. And that is happening not only in Nepal, but all over the world. I think the youth are voicing out. And when we should listen to our future generation, right? And that tells us that the kind of corruption of different coming from, whose interest is it? We have to start unpacking all these things to understand the reason of and why these conflicts are being generated more and more. But at the same time, it's more important to understand the minds of our future generation. If the minds of our future generation look at all these things and start retaliating back, then the kind of deaths that happen in Nepal will happen again. It may not be because of them, but it will be because of the forces who are watching to take advantage of situation. You see, that's what happened in Nepal. But that's just an example of my country. I think it's happening all over. So my stress on today's peace conference is to see how we can help the future generation to have the mindset that Madam was talking in the morning. How do we get to work together in such a way that peace prevails before we die? You see? I think that's $1 million question, as they say in today's world. Let's move on, please. And on top of that, it's not only just the materialistic and the human things that we are day-to-day attached with, but the overall danger the earth is facing on the impact of climate change. And that, of course, we all know is both human-made, mainly human-made, and also naturally how the world is being degraded. You see? So the heat that is increasing. And the impact, what we have to understand is all the negative impacts happen mostly on everyone, but more on women and people from marginalized communities. Because in climate change, they are the ones who are danger, and they are the ones who have to survive every day, so they have to be in touch. So, because of the poverty and the fact that they do not have enough to even survive every day, then they fall prey to those predators who are trying to watch and capture people who have less resources, take them as migrant workers, and take advantage of humans, organs, their labor, and violence of all sorts. So, once people are not satisfied and they are easy prey of those predators, then they will be the hands and legs to carry out things that we hear of, right? Who would otherwise want to be a human born? Nobody. But somehow, there's a whole system on earth on some people who are hungry for wealth and power of all forms, and people are there to take advantage of such situations. And usually, because as I keep on focusing, the inequality in the resources, people fall prey to it. And this unrest keeps on increasing by those taking advantage of them, but the hunger is always there in the mind of the so-called leaders who are trying to assert their own power on earth. Let's move on, please. And with the digital age, we have a lot of good advantages we can take of it. Unfortunately, there is also it's become a source of misinformation and disinformation, again, particularly by those who are the haves, because they have the technology, they have the resources, so the thought they want to spread, it's easy for them to spread. So our challenge now, my dear Rotarian friends, is how to make sure the future generations' mind are not captured by those kind of people, and how we start working to plant the seeds of peace, because it's eroding day by day. Let's move on, because through the cyber warfare, through digital medium also, people take advantage themselves. But there are other people who are, without understanding, also sharing information that leads towards unrest. So the path towards peace is always respect for human rights. We've been working on that forever. The Human Rights Declaration is there, but unfortunately, if you look at the war situations that's going all over the world just now, it will not be an exaggeration to say that these declarations are not working well. However, and justice, equality, non-discrimination, these are the points which leads towards chaos and unrest. Militarization, all these things are happening, we see it. But I think our duty now, particularly as Rotarians, are to focus on making sure the next generation doesn't move on with these negative values. Move on, please. And we should move towards conflict prevention and peace building. How do we do it? We have to start recognizing early warning systems, not only in the weather patterns. See, in weather patterns, if we recognize the early system, then we can prevent and make sure the flood doesn't create as much havoc as it really does, right? It's the same on conflict. We have to look within ourselves, individual, our house, community, nation, and the world. Where is the unrest coming and why? What is the seed? We've already talked about many things. All those aspects, I think we should start looking into it so that we can prevent a catastrophe at the end. Can we move on? Move on, please. So the role of governments and institutions, I've already talked. The main thing is, yesterday we were talking, somebody was saying, we don't question, right? We know when elections come, crores and crores of rupees are being spent. So if that money is spent, where will the money, how will you recover that money? Okay, time is running out, I'll wrap. So, the whole system of questioning should be also there, but analyzing in such a way that we move towards an atmosphere where peace is restored. And I again keep on stressing on the fact that we have to work on the minds of the young people. Let's move on, please. Again, I've already talked about this. Again. I want to come to the Rotarian value on peace. Simona has already talked about it, so I won't go in detail. But we all Rotarians know that whenever we have our weekly meetings, we do our 4-way test, and then we also talk about working on wonderful peace projects. One, the overall peace project Simona has already talked, but in our project, other projects also, social work, we do a lot of work which leads towards peace, not unrest, right? And we have to look at how peace we can build through this service, not slogans, dialogue, understanding, and goodwill, ethical leadership, and our 4-way test always, peace through education and cultural exchanges, finding the root causes, of poverty, inequality, and injustice, and strengthening communities through services above self. That is the motto the Rotarians have, service above self. And that is what is required to be spread all over the world so that the youth coming, the future generation, inculcate that. And women and youth have always been sources of peace builders all over the world, actually, And if we look at different parts of Nepal, India, wherever, you see that force, youth and women always trying to build peace. But unfortunately, if wrong ideas are planted on the youth, then they will be the leaders to move towards unrest. So we have to be careful of that. Next, please. I also wanted to touch a little bit on South Asian aspect. If you look at this region, our culture, tradition, heritage, we are so rich. And it's very similar among all our countries. Unfortunately, as the days are passing by, instead of the whole region uniting, there are unrest within each countries. And because our boundaries are so much together, that unrest percolates with it. You see, Nepal and India has such a lovely relationship of having an open border. No other country has that. We should move towards having open border everywhere. But that can be achieved only through peace, right? And people to people connection. So move on, please. The last slide. So focusing on the Rotary peace value, I think we can move towards working more and more within ourselves, Rotaracts, Interacts, and the youth of our community who are not part of the Rotary family also, on how to educate and make sure peace prevails, because that's the only way the earth is going to be intact, and how our happiness at the end of the day, before we move on to our spiritual part, starts. Thank you very much for inviting me, and it's been a wonderful stay in Aurangabad. Thank you very much, host club and the leaders with the host club.
Very well spoken. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Rotary Namrata Sharma, for your thought-provoking and insightful address. Your clear perspectives and compassionate approach have helped us better understand today's challenges and our collective responsibility as peace builders. We deeply appreciate your valuable contribution and commitment to the Rotary ideal for promoting peace across borders. नम्रता मैडम, आपने जो पीस के बारे में कहा है, एक शेर याद आया, मैं सुनाना चाहती हूँ। दफन कर दो हमें कि सांस मिले, दफन कर दो हमें कि सांस मिले, नब्ज कुछ देर में थमी सी है। Thank you. Let us move ahead. We are privileged to introduce another distinguished voice dedicated to culture, harmony and recreational goodwill. Our next speaker brings with her the colors, culture and compassionate spirit of the Northeast. She has been a passionate promoter of Assam, its heritage, its people and its message of unity in diversity. Please welcome Mrs. Deepashri Das Sarkar, who will share with us the essence of Assam's contribution to peace, culture, and national integration. Before that, may I request Rotarian Pradyumna Bisoi to introduce Rotarian Deepashri Das Sarkar.
Thank you, madam. Good afternoon to all the Rotarians delegates present over in the auditorium. It's my honor to introduce the boy, Rotarian 3240, Assam. Rotarian Dibada Sarkar, an inspiring leader and a distinguished scholar. Dr. Deepasri is an multilingual poet, author, regular columnist, Shakespearean scholar, and a committed humanist feminist. She has 6 published books to her credit and writes with equal eloquence in Assam, Bengali, Hindi, and English. She served as an associate professor in the Department of English at Margarita College, Assam, and has presented numerous research papers at national and international seminars and conferences across both the print and electronic media. Her commitment to serve extends beyond the academic. She is a life member of several esteemed organizations, including the Indian Red Cross Society, the Shakespeare Society of Eastern India, the Assam Sahitya Sabha, and English Teachers Association of India, the Human Rights Communist Communism of Women's Wing, Tinsukia District, the Assam College Teachers Association, and of course, the Rotary Club of D-Boy. Rotary Dr. Dipasi is a currently leading impactful project, Save and Empowerment Girl Child, with focus on legal rights, health and hygienic nutrition, education, safety of overall empowerment. She firmly believes in the motto, there can be no religion above humanity, so live and let live. On the personal front side, she is blessed with a daughter who is pursuing her PhD and is supported by her husband, a retired government official. Please join me in welcoming the one and only, the leading and well established lady of Assam, Dr. Dipasi Das Sarkar. Please welcome her.
Thank you so much, Mr. Bishoy, for those kind words. I'm extremely been privileged in this afternoon to introduce the entire Northeast, the land of Red River and Blue Hills. And I am from RC Digboy, International Rotary District 3240. Our motto is peace. Where peace comes dropping slow. You know, when your stomach is hungry, your brain is not working, then you are an easy target for the power mongers. Bhuka pet kuch nahi hota. That's what actually our Assam is based mainly on agriculture. And that's why the success story of our Rotary Club D-Boy is organic farming, teaching the farmers of the local people for the best quality of seeds and best quality of crops that they can have their own their own lands, and they can have the input from the Rotary Club of D-Boy, and we train them. And we are blessed to have the IOCL, Indian Oil Corporation, who has given us land for organic farming. We teach the general people, the cultivators from our Northeast, and you will be happy to know that we have 15 indigenous tribes. They have their different cuisines, they have their different outlook, they have their different outfit also. And they have their own rituals. And some of the community, that is Tai Khamiang community, they have only 20 members, living members. Now we are preserving their language and literature. Because their offspring, they do not speak their own language. So it's a challenge for all of us. Like everywhere we need peace, but area-wise, region-wise, it differs. The challenges are different. The people, the Rotarians of Aurangabad may not face the same challenges where we are working with the indigenous tribes we are facing. And as of you know that Assam is, circled by the 7 sisters, that is Assam, Meghalaya, Manipur, Arunachal Pradesh, and our D-Boy is adjacent to Arunachal Pradesh. Arunachal, where sun rises first in India. Okay, next slide. You see, to propagate sustainable organic farming through collaboration with various NGOs, farmers, educational institutions from India and abroad, the project is a learning hub for students for research activities, hands-on training on organic farming, as is demonstration, garden and develop literature and use of farmers. Rotary Club of D-Boy, RI District 3240. Like, what goes inside comes outside. If we take good food, then the good thoughts will That is, whatever you are taking, pirated editions, we are taking all the foods which are all pirated edition, the oils, all the pirated edition. So through organic farming, can inculcate all the old values which are very sustainable and which are meant to be nourished by each and every one of us to have a good thought. Then the formative days of our these agriculture-based products. This is the land which IOCL, Indian Oil Corporation, has given us for 100 years. Next. This is the area where we are organizing this product with the help of the local people, local farmers, because Assam is 80% based on agriculture. Next slide. This is the land. You see? For organic plantation. We sell seeds, we sell saplings. Then next, these are the projects, you see, with the local people, the local artisans and the local plowmen. Next, this is our garden for organic farming. We actually sell the products. Next, this is the farmers training in Kathalguri village, because 80% people of Assam lives in villages. This is mushroom cultivation there. We cultivate mushrooms and we sell for the sustainable economic development, the local people. Next, local self-help group, SHG self-help group, they are preparing these fruit juices because our area is very famous for citrus plantation. The class for fruit preservation. Before, this is the land. This is the people who are, the kids are playing, and they are actually one lady from Canada. She is Victoria, Canada, demonstrating improved farming techniques. How to, develop the techniques of the upcoming generation who are now kids. They will develop this culture. Next. These other schools of the different parts of Digboy around Margarita is the gold town. So the students from different parts of the our schools areas, and they come and they just learn how to make the organic farming and how to implement all this in our in their farms. Next. And this is the IOCL project, Organic Waste Converter at ASP in 11 February. So we take the initiative to reuse the organic waste and make it actually manure, organic manure. Okay. Next, volunteers of Lahwal College, they are coming. Actually, they are learning how to make out of waste, best out of waste and organic manure. Next. Hands-on training given to the IOCL gardeners in association with training in department IOCL AOD Assam Oil Division. Next. Setting up farmers group in the garden. So we take all the farmers from different villages, we provide them residential training free of cost for this organic farming. Next. This Delhi Public School, Eco Club, and other training on organic farming organized for school children on the town. Next. This is the production of organic pesticides. You can see that it is made of lasun, that is garlic, then green chilies. And these are the products, they are making it and making organic pesticides. Okay. Hands-on training given as a part of ambitious project, Make Digboy Organic. Okay, we want to make Digboy and in and around Digboy that we should be free of any kind of pollution and we should get organic food. This is inauguration of Seed Mela. We are the first in the Assam. We actually had the Seed Mela. We sell seeds, organic seeds. An exhibition of seeds of Assam. Assam has 250 varieties of indigenous production of rice. So there is a seed mela organized by our club, and people can buy seeds from there. A group of participants from different clubs. Then next, the inauguration of the workshop on organic farming. Then group of participants, they have come from different parts of Assam as well as from India to learn about that. Next, inauguration of computer training center, Rotary training center in our organic tea demonstration garden. Next, that adopt Digboy as an organic township, prepare, formulate organic pesticides and affordable price. We are selling these things in a very affordable price. And next, tips for organic farming and dedicated volunteers, goodwill amongst local population, support from Indian Oil Corporation Limited and Oil India Limited. Next, we are having some difficulties also, lack of funds, works with the economically weaker section, and difficulty in retaining trained manpower. Next, Digboy located adjacent to the Dihik Patkai Reserve Forest. Now, there is elephant corridors, and often we face the dangers of man and elephant and other wild animals, conflict. And the animals, they just try to kill. There are the people, three women were killed by the elephants, and other like the cheetah, the tiger, the wild boar, they come. Because of that, we villagers inside the forest area are frequently by the elephants, which have a few deaths and massive loss of the cultivation. To ensure the safety of the villagers, the Rotary Club of Digboy installed solar street lights on village roads under APDCL government subsidy scheme. Next, under the Pohor project, Pohor means in Assamese, Pohor means light. Project, we installed 190 street lights in 12 villages. Next, this solar street light for Kherjan, Dhekyajan forest village area, where man and the elephant conflict are a common factor. Next, during the pandemic, RC Digboy organized a vaccination drive of the club premises with the help of the district civil hospital at Digboy. Next, more than 10,000 vaccines were administered for free. RC Digboy organized 35 on-site and 4-line workshops on issues related to health and safety and empowerment of women and children since 2018. We organized an international joint lecture on Save and Empower Girl Child at Cox's Bazar, Bangladesh, in association with the Inner Wheel Club of Cox's Bazar, and online workshop with Pakistan. These projects care for the girl child and orphan free India. That is our main project where I am working. I am associated with that. And this is from Bangladesh. This is here from also from Bangladesh, and this is from our neighboring school. So these are all our projects. Next. Thank you very much for giving your attention. The entire world is when we act positive.
Vegetarian Deepasri Sarkar taking us the journey for Assam, and the importance of organic field and farming in today's world that is very much related to the bees. Before we move ahead, now we welcome Rotarian Rajendra Deshpande to share his thoughts on positive peace. Peace begins when we see humanity before differences. Before he comes in, may I request Rotarian Rohini Pathak to introduce Rotarian Rajendra Deshpande.
Thank you, Rotarian Siddiqui. Myself, Rotarian Rohini, President RC Ambazogai City. It's my immense privilege to introduce Mr. Rajendra Deshpande. It is indeed a privilege to introduce a distinguished professional, thought leader, and social development advocate, Mr. Rajendra Deshpande. Mr. Deshpande is a graduate in pharmacy, holds a master's degree in international marketing management, and a postgraduate diploma in information technology. He is presently pursuing his PhD, further strengthening his academic and research pursuits. He has been exclusively nominated to Leader Excellence Award Square, a prestigious global platform that extends invitations only nominations to select leaders who demonstrate exceptional contribution, vision, and impact across industries and societies. With over 3 decades of rich industry experience, spanning pharmaceuticals, consumer goods, travel, tourism, and healthcare, Mr. Deshpande has spent the last 10 years deeply engaged in business value development, working closely with MSMEs to promote sustainable and inclusive growth. His research specialization lies in business value development, undertaken in association with a reputed organization in the United States. He has authored and published insightful papers on themes such as relevance of Mahatma Gandhi, human development, and allied socio-economic subjects. Notably, he has successfully drawn meaningful correlations between Gandhian philosophy and contemporary economic thought, offering a model framework for social and economic development. Currently, Mr. Deshpande is working on conceptualizing and structuring a comprehensive model for social value development, integrating ethical leadership, sustainability, and economic viability. His expertise and thought leadership have earned him invitations from international universities and institutions across South Africa and USA, as well as he renowned national institutions including TISS and other premier academic platforms in India. Beyond academia and industry, Mr. Deshpande is actively engaged in nation building through his association and organizations founded on Gandhian ideals, including Harijan Sevak Sangh and Akhil Bharat Rachanatmak Samaj, New Delhi, where he serves as National General Secretary. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in extending a warm welcome to Mr. Rajendra Deshpande, a leader who seamlessly bridges industry expertise, academic insight, and social transformation. Thank you.
Thank you very much for this generous introduction. I have been the second president of this club, and I assure you I will be not boring you, and I will finish my speech in time. But while I was just listening and this last 30 minutes, I thought that we are in a peace conference. So let us not be contributing to causing conflicts by encroaching upon others' time. And my special thanks to the sponsors of this conference, especially Dhananjay Group of Company and then Nasia, who sponsored this all, and all the other Rotarians and individuals, especially MIT group of institutions who hosted the entire Rotary International group for visiting their campus and hosting a dinner for us. Let us give them a very big hand. Thank you very much. Now, before we start, next slide, please. Yes. Yeah. Next. Next. Now, what is peace? Peace is a state of tranquility, harmony, and social and international state of mind. And the crux of this definition is peace lies, the fundamental peace lies in the individual's mindsets. And that has been the focus of my speech. Let us continue. Next, Rotary International concept of peace is causing peace by interactions and different projects, and especially in the area of poverty, discrimination, economic inequality, gender inequality, and these are the areas where Rotary has been impacting the society for more than hundreds of years. Next, what are the keynote concepts and approaches for peace are grassroots peace building, addressing the root causes, positive peace. These are the 5 dimensions of Rotary peace, which I don't have to repeat. Next. Now, Rotary, what are the instruments of Rotary for causing peace? You all know Rotary Peace Centers, service projects, youth programs, especially Rotarys, and Aurangabad, our club, has been very, very active in causing various youth programs from time to time. Next. Now, since the Rotary has defined peace, we see daily advancements of technology. What is the real conflict causing today is that we will see for a few minutes. Technology and artificial intelligence, this has added to unemployment, another important cause of conflict in the society. It is causing inequality, and it has developed related issues and violences in different parts of the world, which I don't have to mention. You already know. Rotarians are now reached to next level. I see, since I have was disconnected with this club for last almost 10-15 years, I see the difference myself in the Rotarians and their structures, their being, their communication, etc. Rotarians have changed. So we have to bring ourselves to that change level and a new level. Wars and conflicts are still there, but their nature of wars were there since 5,000 years, since the time of Mahabharata and Ramayana. Their concept has and the nature has changed. So the peace building efforts have to change. Individual mindsets are changing, families are getting nuclear, remember. Societies are, social groups have, and their structures have changed. We are more active on social media than in other parts of our human life. We are disconnected from our families. Let me tell you very bluntly, we are more active with others than our families. We have to take time with our children to talk. These are the important changes that have taken place. And these are the basic causes of causing conflicts in our minds and disturbing our peace. Does this change in the perspective demands a different communication model for achieving positive peace building in the society? Next. What is positive peace and negative peace? Negative peace is understood as the absence of violence or fear of violence. Positive peace is defined as the attitudes, institutions, structures that create, sustain,
and peaceful societies. It provides a framework to understand and then address the multiple and complex challenges. And positive peace is talks about transformational communication. Next. In addition to the absence of violence, positive peace, let me repeat here, it includes economic reinforcement. Most important today for children and the youth who is unemployed. We have to work towards making money and give livelihood to the youth that who is looking for. Rotary can really work on this. Next. There are 8 pillars of positive peace. Well-functioning government. We all know how the governments are functioning. I don't want to comment on that. But one of the most important thing, right from US to any country, you will find rising debts. All the strategies and policies you hear today from US are to come out of their debt trap, which is 37 trillion or whatever it is. Exact figures you know better. Sound business environment. India is doing wonderful on this. We have achieved the 4th position in the global state of economy. Equitable distribution of resources, acceptance of rights of others, giving powers to others, good relations with our neighbors, free flow of information, high levels of human capital, and lowest level of corruption. These are the 8 areas which are contributing to the peace building in any society, anywhere in the world. Next. Now, Global Peace Index, everybody has talked. I will not talk. One thing I want to mention here, Global Peace Index is worsening since the period of World War II. It is going down and down. And the countries that we have, we know which are the countries. I don't have to repeat. Iceland, Switzerland, and Finland, and these are the topmost countries. We have to really look into about what has been causing it. Since now we are having the rise of economy, with the global GDP has increased, global war technology and everything has increased, but the peace index has gone down. This is really a serious thing that we have to look into. Next, please. Now, key findings of the Global Peace Index is the decline of global peacefulness with many key indicators that precede major conflicts higher than at any time since the World War II. Rising conflict rates, accelerating geopolitical tensions and all. You will find these are the major issues. Even within a diverse country like India, the conflicts are not being peacefully handled. We have to really address to this important issue of our country. Next, now key findings are, you can say, this peace index and its deterioration caused to the economy, world economy, in the figure of about $20 trillion in 2024. 11.6% of global GDP, and with military expenditure is getting impacted by the Global Peace Index. These are the 5 countries, you know, New Zealand, Australia, Switzerland, these are the top 5 countries having the highest top ranking of Peace Index. Next. Now these findings directs the Rotary social movements to be taken to the next level very urgently in our different clubs that we are being a part of. Nobody has talked so far about use of tourism as a peace building measure. It has proved wherever you will find the tourism is going high, the peace index will rise. You will find Switzerland, New Zealand, they are the topmost. Austria, even, these are the topmost countries of tourism inflows. India is also rising slowly, but wherever tourism is deteriorated, the economy has deteriorated and the peace index also has deteriorated. I am a tourism practitioner, I am a tourism business, I am in tourism business, that is why I propagate tourism. Now, what are the cultural needs of the society? What are the current needs of the society? Finding these needs will connect us to the peace, impacting peace index in our respective clubs. Economic needs, health related needs, and education needs. Why these three? Because the United Nations Human Development Index is determined on these three factors, and we will also, we being Rotarians, we will try either of these three factors. Next. Now, I was talking about the new communication model. And what is that communication model? It is a non-violent communication model. It is practiced, and lot of corporates today are inviting me for training programs in non-violent communication, because every corporate is suffering from lack of communication, lack of full of conflicts and related problems in the team building in the corporations. Non-violent communication is a way of communicating that leads us to give from heart. Non-violent communication replaces our old patterns of defending, arguing, withdrawing, attacking in the face of judgment and criticism. We perceive relationships in a new light, in a new perspective, that we use non-violent communication to hear our own deeper needs and with others. Next. Now there are 4 components of non-violent communication. Time is running out. I will just try to cover it up speedily. These are the 4 components of non-violent communication. Observations. How you observe. Most important thing, I was talking about perspective. Your perspective gives you observations. We all see sunset and sunrise every morning. But it is our perspective that determines and gives meaning to that sunset and sunrise, which is same for everyone in the world. So this perspective is very important in handling your communication and positive spirits in your mind. Feelings. Next. Feeling is a reaction to that observation. How you feel. Many times you meet your wife or husband every day in the morning, but our feelings are different every day. Whatever has happened in the last night or last day or few days back, it gets reflected in our communication. What are your needs? Because I will like to communicate my needs to others around me. And transforming these demands into requests. The concrete actions we observe that affect our well-being. What is the process of non-violent communication that we are discussing? How we feel in relation to what we observe, what are our needs, values, desires, and what concrete actions we request in order to enrich our life. Next, there are 2 parts of non-violent communication: expressing and receiving the communication. Both are important. You express with positive, have understanding before you communicate, and receive and have empathy while receiving the communication from others. Next, applying non-violent communication in our lives and the world. When we use non-violent communication in our interactions with ourselves, with another person, or in a group, we become grounded in our natural state of compassion. This can be used in all areas of your life. Intimate relationships in your family, in your school, in organization, with your children, asking children to communicate in their schools, therapy with your health professionals, in your business, in your daily life, in your career, and handling disputes and conflicts in the society. Next, in conclusion, The world has become complex for all of us. We need to simplify it by way of our communication. Empathy, action, this is the foundation of positive communication. Rotarians has a significant role to play in all these areas of our society and in our life. Next. These are all my credentials. Thank you. I was awarded. Next. I am a part of United Nations Sustainable Development Center, and this is the award, international award for me by World Association of Small and Medium Enterprises. Thank you very much. This is a top 1% profile of LinkedIn certificate. Next. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I hope I am in time.
Formative power of positive peace. Now we take our journey on an international platform. May I request Rotarian Sandeep Pankade to introduce Dr. Samuel.
Rotary's enduring belief that peace begins with care, dignity, and opportunity, especially for women. Dr. Professor Shahina Asif Chaudhary, a distinguished gynecologist with the prestigious credentials of, has dedicated her professional journey to safeguarding women's health, laying strong foundations for healthier families, empowered communities, and more peaceful society. Her service in medicine goes beyond clinical excellence. It nurtures confidence, dignity, and hope in the lives of countless women. A committed Rotarian, Dr. Shahina served the distinction as a past president during 2016-17 of the Rotary Club of Lahore Shabdan, District 63. Shahman, okay. District 63. Her leadership exemplifies Rotary's vision that goodwill is built through compassionate action and peace is sustained through inclusive service. As a level 3 donor, she has reinforced Rotary's mission by transforming generosity into lasting impact. Through her work, Dr. Shahina stands as a powerful advocate of women empowerment, reminding us that when women are healthy, educated, and supported, they become ambassadors of peace within their families and communities. For this particular program, she has been especially invited by Rotarian Anil Gai from Rotary Club Corbett. He's already there. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in warmly welcoming a Rotarian who truly embodies service above self and peace through service, Dr. Professor Shahina Asif Chaudhary.
My dear friends from India, dear Rotary leaders and friends of humanity. My name is Dr. Shahina Asif Chaudhary and I am from Pakistan. Basically, I am a gynecologist and I work full-time in ops and gynecology. But I do find time for Rotary, and Rotary has given me a new aspect of life. Basically, I am in Lahore, and Lahore is a beautiful city. This city is famous for its architecture, its universities and colleges. Also, it is famous for its food. The Lahori food is very popular with the foreigners. But most of all, Lahore is famous for its culture, for its art, and for its love of poetry. This is the beautiful Badshahi Mosque. It is in Lahore and it was built in the Mughal times. The Emperor Aurangzeb Alamgir was the person who built it. We also have this historic cathedral church of Resurrection in the center of Lahore. But just outside Lahore, about 60 kilometers away, is the famous Gurdwara Nankana Sahib. It is significant to Sikh pilgrimage where Guru Nanak spent his last final years. Many Rotarians cross over to Pakistan every week and meet with the Rotarians of Pakistan and Nankana Sahib. In Lahore, like all urban cities, there are areas where there are well-off people or where the elite housing society is present for the very rich people. It is full of beautiful houses, gardens, huge built-up areas and lovely places to see. Most of the bureaucrats, officers and business people live here. This is another area where the Christians live. It is called Johannabad and this is the area from where most of the Christian community commutes to the areas of work. In Kamaha village, which is outside the DHA boundary wall, all the drivers, the housemates, the gardeners, the dhobis who work in the big bungalows of DHA live here. This Kachi Abadi is just outside the DHA drain. 70% of the people live here are Muslims, 20% are 20 to 20% are Christians, and the rest of them are from the other communities. We all read about the fights and scuffles which occur in these underprivileged communities, and the fights are usually of financial issues, petty, cash, and little scuffles about jobs and little things which can happen anywhere. But when there is a fight between Muslims and Christians on any issue, or the Hindus and Buddhists and the Sikhs, it becomes a religious dispute. And most of the people who are political minded or have religious political backgrounds, they take advantage of these scuffles and these fights and they make them into a huge issue. It shows in statistics that it is very difficult to change the mindset of the adults. The adults who have grown up hating each other and hating other people of other religions and of other values, they seldom change adults. They are, if you talk to them and if you try to advise them, it doesn't work very well. Because very few people change their minds when they have a very set mindset right from their childhood. Statistics shows that if we focus on the children and let the children grow in harmony with other diverse religions and sects, then we can say that the peace is possible. With this belief in our minds, the Rotary Club of Lahore Shadman started a school in the area of Kamaha, in which they admitted Muslim children mostly, but a fair amount of Christian children were also admitted. As a result of this, we created friendships between Christian and Muslim families, and now we have seen that these children sit together, they work on their computers together, they're in the library sitting and reading books or writing their scripts, and they play together. They're doing exercise together, and that is how their parents come together as well. So these children are growing up as healthy-minded kids. Imagine a world with the echoes of conflict of silence, not by the roar of weapons, but by the laughter of children, side by side. A world where differences in faith are not walls that divide us, but they are the bridges that connect us. Today, I stand here before you to speak on a vision that is as ancient as our human spirit and as urgent as headlines we see every day. Bringing peace to the world through educational harmony among religions by empowering the underprivileged children. We live in an era of shattered division. Wars are fueled by misunderstanding, hatred rooted in ignorance, and communities torn apart by the very beliefs that should unite us. The religions bind people of wisdom and morality, and they have to be trusted and do not separate them by petty things. But what if we flip the script? Instead of allowing differences to breed, we educate people at a younger age and we create an equalizer, the force that will foster harmony. Just look at this picture of these two children just outside their school. Probably they're talking to each other or selling something, but they're playing together, they eat together and laugh together. One is a Christian and the other is a Muslim. These are the children who have shared values and compassion of their own holy books. They overlook what is happening around them and they overlook the problem that the adults are facing. They have not yet been hardened by the world and their minds are open and their hearts are unbound. In my closing, let me borrow the words from a wise soul. The child is the father of the man. Peace is possible through children, through their education, through their harmony, their underlying hope. And let's begin and let's be the generation that makes it so. The project of Rotary Club of Lahore Shadman is successful because one Christian boy that we took in our class in the beginning is now studying to become a doctor. And one Muslim boy who was initially taken from the street is doing his days. It has been a pleasure to be talking to
She has come online. Yeah. Can we have the lights off, please? Get the camera towards the audience so that she can see the audience, please. Can she hear me? Hello? Fine. Message to start her talk, please.
Give the speaker the full screen.
Yeah, just have patience, please, because once it is set, then it will be totally live. Is it fine? Can we have the volume? So far, she has been muted, I think. Just have a look.
No.
You are muted, I think. Just give a message.
ये थोड़ा सा कर्टन और नीचे कर देंगे जो लाइट कम हो जाए थैंक यू
Ask her to start, please.
फिर ठीक है कंक
Come in front, so that everybody can see. You can see everybody. To start, please.
Hello.
Please start.
Hello.
We are listening this notice.
आपने प्रेजेंटेशन प्ले करनी है या मैंने खुद बोलना है?
आप बोलिए।
अच्छा, आप मुझे मुझे 1 मिनट टाइम दीजिए, मैं अपनी प्रेजेंटेशन उठा लूँ। Distinguished Rotarians, respected dignitaries and dear friends, Assalamu alaikum or Sat Sri Akal, Namaste. It is an honor to join you virtually at the International Peace, Goodwill and Conflict Conference 2026 hosted by Rotary District 3132 in the historic city of Aurangabad. I'm sure मैं ठीक pronounce कर रही हूँ city name. Warm greetings from the Rotary Club of Shadman, Lahore, Pakistan. मेरी आवाज ठीक आ रही है? प्लीज मुझे बताएंगे, बिकॉज मुझे जहां से नहीं सुनाई दे रहा है कुछ भी. Okay, thank you. A short while ago, our esteemed leader Dr. Shahina Asif Chaudhary spoke about the importance of peace building on those reflections. I will briefly share in my personal contribution to peace at a global level, focused on people connections. Through this journey, I have come to strongly believe in peace through faith, where villages and heritage tourism act as bridge that unite humanity and promote mutual respect. मैंने इससे पहले मुझे नहीं पता कि मेरा इंट्रोडक्शन जहाँ पे करवा चुके हैं या नहीं. मेरा नाम नुशाबा शहजाद है और मैं लाहौर से बिलोंग करती हूँ और रिलीजियस और हेरिटेज टूरिज्म में टूरिज्म कंसल्टेंट हूँ. तो आप अगर मेरी साथ में प्रेजेंटेशन जो मैंने पावर पॉइंट भेजी थी मेरे सामने वही है, अगर आप वो साथ चलाते हैं तो ज़्यादा बेहतर होगा, इन लोगों को अंडरस्टैंड करने में भी आसानी होगी. तो मेरे सामने स्लाइड्स हैं, मैं अकॉर्डिंगली उस पर बात करूँगी. तो peace is often discussed in conference rooms, but sometimes peace begins when a person bows their head in prayer, not next to someone like him or like her, but next to someone different. और यहाँ पे मेरी कोई डिस्कशन, कोई चीज़, मैं पाकिस्तान से बात कर रही हूँ, कोई चीज़ पॉलिटिक्स से रिलेटेड नहीं है. मैं यहाँ पे सिर्फ बात करने आई हूँ ह्यूमैनिटी पे. और थोड़ा अगर मैं डिटेल इंट्रोडक्शन में जाऊं ताकि आप लोगों को अंडरस्टैंड करने में आसानी हो, तो as you know, I'm from Pakistan, but my work takes me into shared history. 47 से पहले तो हमारी सारी हिस्ट्री हेरिटेज एक ही था, where borders came later and faith came first. मेरा टॉपिक है आज का पीस थ्रू फेथ पे और इसी पे मैं काम भी करती हूँ. टूर कंसल्टेंट हूँ जो आपको ऑलरेडी बता चुकी हूँ. एंड असल में अगर देखा जाए तो मैं जहाँ पे एक ब्रिज का रोल प्ले कर रही हूँ डिफरेंट कंट्रीज के से, यहाँ पे लोगों को आपस में एक कनेक्ट करने में. और रोटरी के बारे में अगर मैं बात करूँ, रोटरी गेव माय वर्क अ सोल एंड माय जर्नी अ डायरेक्शन. ये ओरिजिनली मुझे रोटरी से ये चीज, मेन जो चीज मुझे ट्रस्ट मिला है ये वो है. मेरा अगर देखा जाए, माय फर्स्ट टाइम रोटरी truly touched my heart was when Mr. Anil Ghai, the respectable, my sweet brother, Mr. Anil Ghai, introduced me to this family. I was inducted not in hotel or conference room, but at Kartarpur Sahib, the Peace Corridor, where 200 Rotarians stood together. And that moment actually taught me that peace is not an idea, it's an experience. Mr. Anil Bhai, family migrated from Chakwal. I am also from the same area. My roots, Talagang, the old Chakwal Tehsil was Talagang. I interviewed his mother a few days back. Auntie Ji, she's a sweet lady, and she shared her all experience of migration and shared her pains and shared her history and healings. So actually, if I say that this interview was not an interview, I felt like I'm meeting with a family member. Actually, अगर देखा जाए तो borders divided the land, but memories unite hearts. So आज ऐसा ही चल रहा है. When people travel with faith, हम जरा अपने टॉपिक की तरफ चलते हैं. When people travel with faith, they don't ask, who are you politically? Actually, they ask, where do you pray? जब लोग यकीन और एहतराम के साथ सफर कर रहे होते हैं तो वहाँ नफरत खुद ब खुद खत्म हो जाती है. तो रिलीजन जो है ये एक बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग कनेक्शन है एक्चुअली ह्यूमन लाइफ में, और बहुत एक सेंसिटिव इमोशन भी है, एक स्ट्रॉन्ग कनेक्शन भी है. So peace through faith is not about actually converting, it's about connecting. ये लोगों को जोड़ रहा होता है. मजहब का असल मकसद ही ये है, अगर हम किसी भी रिलीजन को, मकसद ही ये है कि वो लोगों को जोड़ रहा होता है. जब लोग जुड़ रहे होते हैं तो ऑटोमेटिकली पीस तो आ रहा होता है. और मेरा मेन सब्जेक्ट है सिखिज्म. मैंने जो सबसे ज्यादा काम किया है वो सिखिज्म पे किया है, सिख हिस्ट्री हेरिटेज पे काम किया है, सिख यात्रा पे काम किया है. एंड व्हेन अ सिख जब भी जहाँ पे वो आते हैं और अपने हिस्ट्री और हेरिटेज के लिए, तो वो वहाँ पे ये नहीं होता कि ये पाकिस्तान में है. सिख हेरिटेज डज नॉट बिलोंग टू अ कंट्री. बिफोर डिवीजन अगर देखें तो ये सब जो जितना सिख हेरिटेज है ये तो तब का है. इवन हिंदू हेरिटेज जो हमारे पास है, जैनिज्म का है, बुद्धिज्म का है, ये सब कुछ तो हमेशा से जहाँ पे है. पार्टीशन तो बहुत बाद की बात है. तो ये सारा कुछ ह्यूमैनिटी के साथ बिलोंग कर रहा होता है, और इसमें कहीं पे कुछ रुकावट भी नहीं होनी चाहिए. जब इन मुकद्दस मकामात पे जब लोग आते हैं तो वहाँ पे ये बॉर्डर्स मैटर नहीं कर रहे होते, और ये लोगों को पीपल टू पीपल एक जो कनेक्शन बन रहा होता है, ये लोगों को जोड़ रहे होते हैं, प्यार मोहब्बत हो रहा होता है, और ऑटोमेटिकली ये एक ऐसा सब्जेक्ट है जो पीस ला रहा होता है. सो मेरा तो पर्सनल एक सारा जो विजन है वो ही इसी के इर्द गिर्द रिवॉल्व कर रहा है कि आप थ्रू फेथ आप एक रीजन में बहुत अच्छे से एक पीस ला सकते हैं. और जब when a Sikh pilgrim stand in Nankana Sahib, they don't see Pakistan or India, they just see Guru Nanak Dev Ji. और उस लम्हे में शांति होती है, पीस होता है, प्यार होता है. गुरु नानक देव जी का मेन जो उनका एक लेसन रहा है लाइफ का, पीस का, क्योंकि इफ यू सी तो उन्होंने कभी पॉलिटिक्स पे या किसी और चीज पे बात नहीं की. उन्होंने हमेशा बात की है ह्यूमैनिटी पे. और जब कोई सिख वहाँ पे ननकाना साहब पे, पंजा साहब पे, करतारपुर साहब पे जब वो मत्था टेक रहा होता है तो वो उस टाइम पे सिर्फ वो सारे लम्हात, वो सारा टाइम जो है वो पीस का होता है, शांति का होता है. अब मैं क्योंकि एक विमेन टूर ऑपरेटर हूँ तो मेरे पास जो बड़ा नंबर आता है बाहर से डिवोटीज का, यात्रियों का, टूरिस्ट का, विजिटर्स का, वो काफी बड़ा नंबर फीमेल का होता है। बहुत सारी रोटेरियंस इंडिया से मेरे पास विजिट कर चुके भी हैं, लेकिन कर चुकी ज्यादा हैं। So when a woman travel, ये एक फैक्ट है, when a woman travel with faith, they don't just carry luggage, they carry value back home. और जब औरत सुकून के साथ सफर करती है तो वो सुकून जो है वो आगे अपनी वो जनरेशन्स के लिए लेके जा रही होती है, वो नस्लों तक एक सुकून जा रहा होता है, एक पीस जा रहा होता है। और इसमें पीस टू फेथ ओनली वर्क्स व्हेन फेथ फील्स सेफ, रिस्पेक्टेड एंड ऑनर्ड। हमारी जो जमीन है, हम जो इंडिया पाकिस्तान की मैं बात कर रही हूँ, हमारी जमीन से बहुत सारे मजहबों ने जन्म लिया है, जिसमें सिखिज्म है, जिसमें हिंदुइज्म है, जैनिज्म है, बुद्धिज्म है। और आप अगर इन सब रिलीजन का क्रस्ट देखें, सबका एक आप मेन लेसन देखें तो वो पीस पे ही है। कोई मजहब जो है, हम सारे डिफरेंट मजाहिब के लोग बैठे हुए हैं, लेकिन कोई मजहब भी आप उठा के देख लें, किसी मजहब ने आपको नफरत का सबक नहीं दिया है। सब प्यार मोहब्बत का और पीस का एक लेसन दे रहे होते हैं। तो इसके अलावा जो अगर हम 47 की बात करें, जिसने हमें डिवाइड कर दिया है, तो उसमें बहुत सारी जो रिलीजन के अलावा जो बहुत बड़ी एक यहाँ पे एक ट्रॉमा रहा है, वो रहा है माइग्रेशन का। और यहाँ पे जो मेरे पास जो लोग आते हैं, स्पेशली क्रॉस बॉर्डर, स्पेशली आप इंडिया से जब यहाँ पे लोग आते हैं, तो उनमें बहुत सारे सिर्फ डिवोटीज, हिंदू, सिख, जैन डिवोटीज सिर्फ नहीं होते, बल्कि उसमें बहुत सारे लोग होते हैं जो 47 में माइग्रेट करके गए हैं। और उनकी मेरी जो कंपनी है, जाना ट्रैवल एंड टूरिज्म, हमारा एक पूरा अलग डिपार्टमेंट है जहाँ पे हम सपोर्ट करते हैं उन लोगों को जो माइग्रेटेड फैमिलीज हैं और वो अपने एंसेस्ट्रल की एक लैंड को, अपने घरों को वो वापस अपनी मट्टी को दोबारा महसूस करने के लिए आना चाहते हैं। I have helped hundreds of families return to their ancestral land, और they are not just tourists but returning children। और इसमें इंडियन मीडिया ने, टाइम ऑफ इंडिया ने भी, इंटरनेशनल मीडिया ने भी मेरी बहुत सारी स्टोरीज कवर की हैं, और मेरा ये एक मैसेज भी है सबके लिए कि कोई भी आना चाहता है, हमारा यहाँ पे एक पूरा डिपार्टमेंट है जो सिर्फ इसी पे काम करता है, उनके घरों को ढूंढता है। अगर किसी, बहुत सारे लोग ऐसे हैं जिनके अभी भी घर हैं और अपने वो वापस अपने एक विजिट करना चाहते हैं सिटीज को और उन सब चीज़ों को ढूंढना चाहते हैं, तो हम उन्हें कनेक्ट करते हैं। और जब ये लोग आते हैं यहाँ पे, एक अलग इमोशनल सी सेटिस्फेक्शन होती है। और जब अगर हम रिलीजन पे बात करें, तो यहाँ पे जैसे मैं सिख कम्युनिटी की बात करूँगी, तो अ पर्सन हु हैज ईटन लंगर, और जब वो एक नंगे पांव आता है और वो साइलेंस में प्रे कर रहा होता है, तो आप ये देखें कि वहाँ पे नफरत कहीं पे भी नहीं होती, वहाँ पे सिर्फ पीस होता है, सिर्फ प्यार होता है। अब जो गवर्नमेंट्स हैं उनके दरमियान में बहुत सारे गवर्नमेंट्स में साइन एग्रीमेंट्स और होते हैं, कभी कभी उन पे प्रॉब्लम चल रहे होते हैं, लेकिन अगर आप ये देखें कि जिन लोगों ने यहाँ विजिट करना होता है, वो उनके हार्ट्स जो हैं वो एक पीस के एक एग्रीमेंट पे चल रहे होते हैं। अमन सबसे स्ट्रॉन्ग, पीस सबसे स्ट्रॉन्ग एग्रीमेंट है इंसान और इंसान के दरमियान। और इसमें रोटरी का जो रोल है वो बहुत, मैंने इतने सालों में देखा है कि वो बहुत वाइटल रोल है पीस में। और आज यहाँ पे आपने मुझे बुलाया, थैंक यू वेरी मच कि आपने इतने इम्पोर्टेंट टॉपिक पे बात करने के लिए बुलाया है। क्योंकि फेथ जो है उसका पीस से सबसे ज्यादा कनेक्शन बनता है। रोटरी ऑलरेडी बिलीव्स इन पीस। Faith-based tourism is simply another way to live that belief. So, और मैं जाते कहूँगी कि मेरा अपना भी I dream for visiting India one day to meet the migrated families of my region to listen, to heal, and to reconnect. I stand here as a Rotarian, as a woman, as a Pakistani, and above all, as a believer in peace. अगर हम सफर साथ चल सकते हैं तो अमन भी साथ चल सकता है। और जी प्लीज बताइए, तो वो भी साथ चल सकता है। और जी ओके, और जी जो